Welcome to the Game of Suspicion, a game with murder, mystery, and $400 in prize money. Everyone's got a part to play, and anybody can walk out a winner. The game requires no special setup and there are very few rules. There will be one murderer. The objective of the murderer is to commit at least 4 murders and not get caught. The objective of those still living at the end of the game is to identify the murderer. As for the victims, they are still very much in the game. Your odds of winning may be higher as a victim. There are a few little twists that I need to explain, so let's get started. On Saturday night, every player will be given a welcome bag. Inside each bag will be a card identifying the role the player will have in the game. One bag will have a card labeled Murderer with a set of instructions. Every other bag will have a card labeled Witness. It is very important that each player retain their card. With that, the game has begun. Here are the specifics. In this little drama, there are 4 kinds of players, and each type has a shot at the money. First, we've got the murderer. There's only one murderer, and no one knows who they are except them. No confessions, no hints, just a friendly smile and a secret. They will lie and deceive to hide their guilt. Second, we've got witnesses. Everyone who isn't the murderer starts out as a witness. Plain, ordinary, breathing, and possibly doomed. Their only job is to put the clues together and identify the murderer. They must be careful. If the murderer thinks a witness knows their identity, that witness becomes a tempting target. Witnesses should be careful about who they talk to. The third group is the suspects. These people start out as witnesses. By Sunday morning, they are notified by the murderer that they are now suspects. They essentially become part of the murderer's team. Their purpose is to be suspicious and draw attention away from the murderer. The suspects do not know who the murderer is, nor do they know who the other suspect is. The last group is the victims. These are the people the murderer kills. They do not know when they have been killed but are informed after the fact. They may have some idea who killed them, but they are unlikely to know for sure. Here's how a murder works. If the murderer manages to be alone with 1 or 2 people for about 10 seconds, those people are considered killed. No weapons, no shouting, no touching, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. The murderer makes no announcement, and the victim may suspect that they have been killed but they won't know for sure until later. Sometime after the killing, everyone will receive a text that 1 or more bodies have been found. The murder must have 4 different murders. If they kill 2 people at once, that counts as 1 murder. The game comes to a conclusion on Tuesday night. All players gather together and those that are still alive are asked to complete a slip of paper with their name on one side and the person they suspect to be the murderer on the other. Once all the papers are collected, any witness, victim, or suspect will be invited to present their theory on who the murderer is. This is purely for entertainment value and will have no effect on who wins. Once everyone who wishes to has given their theory, the votes are tallied by the victims, and the murderer reveals themselves and the suspects. Now let's talk about how the money gets handed out. The murderer wins $50 if someone other than them gets the most votes. If they receive no votes at all, they get another $50. They fooled you all, and they get paid for it. Whichever suspect gets more votes wins $50. If they get more votes than anyone else, they get another $50. Even from beyond the metaphorical grave, a victim can still get something out of this. If the murderer received the most votes, then the victims got justice, so they get no money. If the murderer got away, then one of the victims will have their name pulled to receive $100. Any witness that correctly identified the murderer will have their name placed in a drawing for $100. And by the way, the murderer will be provided a burner phone with all your numbers in it. That is how the suspects will be notified, how the victims will be announced, and if the murderer is feeling feisty, they may send some texts just for fun. In case you're wondering how they will get the burner phone, don't worry about it. The murderer will receive the necessary instructions. So remember, 1 secret murderer, 2 hidden suspects, a pack of nervous witnesses, A growing list of victims. 4 days of lies, deceptions, and close calls. And up to 4 of you walking away with $100 each. Welcome to suspicion. Keep your eyes open, and don't believe a word anyone says.